Welcome to Promote, Profit, Publish. I'm your host, Juliette Clark, and you're going to love today's guest. She's so peppy. But before we get started with Julie, I want to remind you to go over to breakthroughauthormagazine.com, grab your free subscription of Breakthrough Author Magazine, and tons of tips, tricks, everything you need to know about writing a book, getting a book edited, platform building, video. We brought on a lot of new contributors. So there is a ton of stuff over there. And I think today's guest is going to write an article next month. I think I asked her, I hope. Okay, good. She's saying yes. So I did remember to ask her. You know how it is when you get old, you forget things. So today's guest is the founder of the Rhino Squad, where she helps entrepreneurs and business leaders hire virtual assistants in the Philippines and design the systems for their assistants to follow so that they can stay in their zone of genius. And she defines zone of genius as tasks that make them the happiest and produce the most return for their time. The best part is her virtual assistants love these tasks that are offloaded on them, which is fantastic. She also owns Camp Rhino gyms, and wait till you see, like, look at her arms if you're on YouTube. She's got some really buff arms. I'm jealous. Rhino CrossFit gyms and Rhino Ninja Warrior gyms. She bootstrapped them 18 years ago with some fence posts, cones, and water buckets from Home Depot. Okay, that is like, I just killed people to start my business. You actually went to Home Depot for it. She loves helping entrepreneurs systemize their businesses and get the help they need. And she loves her virtual assistants and serving her clients. So welcome, Rhino Julie.
Thank you so much. You are such a great reader.
I don't know about that. I did pass the third grade, believe it or not. So.
Usually, we have a hard time with the introduction, and you just crushed it. It was exciting to listen to.
Well, thank you. Usually I do the intro early, but you and I had so much to talk about that I didn't get it done. So I'm really excited to have you here because one of the biggest things in the author world is we have VAs that are in and out. They don't stay long. And we find that our clients don't know what to ask or how to ask what we need to get done. So before we get going on that, tell us about the Home Depot thing. Like, what made you do that?
So all of my businesses have been started because of a need that I saw that wasn't being fulfilled the way I would want it to be fulfilled. So my first business was an advertising business when I was 17. And then I got I gained a lot of weight. So I always say my business was growing as fast as my rear end. And I was like, I don't like the gym. Like, I didn't like it. I tried one session with a trainer, and he had me up on a Bosu ball with my rear end in the air. I just felt so embarrassed and just hated it. And so I wanted to join the military just to do their obstacle course because it looked kind of fun. And I felt like I needed a drill instructor to like make me work out. So this is way too long of a story. I'll shorten it up. But anyways, I decided to start my own boot camp for civilians because that's not a good reason to join the military. Like,
right? And get shot at.
I appreciate everyone and their service. But I was like, I'm just going to start my own boot camp for civilians. And yeah, and I started it just with fence posts and buckets of water, and little by little grew it. And it's been 20 years now, but over 20 years grew it into 3 locations. And I love them, but I just always wanted to be a member there. I never meant for that to be my business. Like, the people that are running my gyms right now are way better than I ever was. And that's how I got into the virtual assistant business, is because it changed my life in the gym industry. Yeah.
Wow. And I think that's every entrepreneur, like, they see this vision. Because I know when I went from advertising to real estate, and it was literally because I was in a bad real estate deal. And I was like, are you kidding? You're the best this town has to offer. Like, yes. That's it. So I got a license, and I was rookie of the year the following year because I just went in and went, yeah, let's do some customer service and marketing here, and not just here, sign my contract and get paid. So although I will say it's a lot harder than it looks with the real estate. So I do value that person now a little bit more, but at the time it was like, really? You're the top agent in town?
That is an interesting subject because I have decided, like, I love what I do right now. But part of it is I think because I've had a few different businesses, I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, everything is hard. None
Yeah.
of it is easy. The grass is not necessarily greener. So I'm like, I just need to make this into something that I can really get behind and feel good about every day and be excited to get out of bed every morning for. And I've achieved that. And I don't know if it's my mindset or if I'm just in the right place at the right time or what.
Yeah, but you know what? I think we take that experience. Like if I look back on everything I've done since I left college, at the time it seemed kind of wavy gravy, like, okay, I'm doing this. I was in publishing and I was in advertising, and then I went from advertising to real estate and then real estate into this business. And when I look back, I gained skills that make me rock solid at this from every single experience that I had, even if I didn't at the immediate time know where I was going.
You are so right about that. That's in my journal this morning. Is all of my years have led me to be really good at this. Like
Yeah.
seriously. And all of the pain. The pain has led me. And one thing I've always been good at is taking massive action, even if it's in the wrong direction. And all of the wrong directions, like I'm like, oh, because I try not to feel regretful. But I've gone the wrong direction and lost a lot of money in a few different things. And that can kind of feel bad. But now I'm like, wait, all of that was actually really good for where I'm at right now. I needed that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's funny too, because I've like set these goals to go in a particular direction. Same with me, you know, lost money on something, but then there's that aha moment that's like, oh, am I losing money because I was supposed to go that way? And then you find out you're really good at that other way. And so, you know, it's just the God, universe, whatever's way of saying, figure it out, girl.
Yes.
I'm going to give you this. I always talk about that with up leveling. Like authors are always up leveling and trying to get more visibility. And whenever you up level, you run into those obstacles, whether it's emotional or physical or money, or there's an obstacle that's thrown in your way. And it's almost like the universe's way of saying, I got you, you got the talent, but you got to give me something. You got to heal something in return here to move to that next level. Do you find that as well?
I just finished the book this morning by Gay Hendricks, and it's The Big Leap. And he talks about the upper limit problems. And yes, I feel you all the way. And every time I've crashed, and I've crashed so hard to where I felt like I was like, I don't know if I can get out of this one. Like this one seems way bigger than me.
Yeah.
And by crashing, I mean getting in over my head with things. And every single time, if I just keep waking up every morning and just keep trying, actually, I take that back. This last time, instead of trying, I surrendered, but still woke up every day and did something. But I surrendered. And then somehow that has me in the best position I've ever been in my entire life, which is really strange. And I don't even understand the word surrender, to be honest. But that's what happened. And I'm like, what? Julie, trying really hard isn't the thing that works the best?
Right.
What's up with this?
Right. I've learned, and I think I'm much, much older than you. I didn't learn until my early 50s when I just said, oh my gosh, you know, people would say, well, just let go, just let go. And it's like, do that. Like, I have a goal and I'm doing it, damn it. And I had this moment where I let go. I was just like, you know what, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Just leave me alone. And, you know, 2-3 weeks later, like the thing that I wanted appeared, and it's like, wait a minute, how did that happen? And it was because I did that thing. I let go. And once you get that, you will never, you'll find yourself pushing a little and then you go, oh, I'm supposed to let go.
Yes. Yeah, but still taking massive action. I think that's
Yes.
something, and massive purposeful action instead of just massive action. And by
Yeah.
massive action, it could be if we get in our flow state, we could do 2 hours and it's better than 16 hours we did on another day.
Exactly. Exactly. So you have these VAs, and this is what authors need. I always teach in traffic school that you have to learn how to do the task so you can direct your VA. But once you've learned it, which is always hard, it's always time consuming, then you let it go to a VA, and then you are freed up for your zone of genius. Talk about that, please, because they don't understand. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. That's what you're doing. You're paying someone so that you can 3x your business and have the time.
Yes, there are things that we can do that we do better than anybody else. And when we're doing them, it doesn't even feel like work, but it's something that actually does give us a direct return in our business. For me, it's just having conversations with entrepreneurs, and it's helping my team solve their problems. I love it. And I do really well with it because my brain is able to like make patterns with all the conversations I have and kind of figure out where the industry is going and what's needed. And anyways, this is the first time I've ever been in my zone of genius pretty much all day. I have never had that experience before in 23 years of entrepreneurship. And my business is set to triple in the next year. And I feel like I'm not even trying. And that's what being in your zone of genius feels like. And being outside of it feels really, really bad. It feels like not enough time to ever. So if we find ourselves saying, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough time, more than likely we're not in our zone of genius, because when we're in our zone of genius, it's like 1 hour is really like 4. It's crazy, like with the amount of things that we're able to do and how we're able to move the needle forward in our business. And whenever I get on the call with, and I'll talk to any entrepreneur who wants to figure out what their zone of genius is and what are the tasks that they should have a virtual assistant doing. But what that conversation looks like is, what do you do every day? First of all, like what do you do when you first start working? What are the tasks, and which of those tasks could somebody else be doing? And especially the tasks that you're just like, oh, anybody could do this. I don't have to do this. And then what are the things that drive your business forward? Like, what are the things that you do that get you more business, that help you be able to, get on more like speaking tours or whatever it is that drives your business forward? And all of a sudden we have this list of things for somebody else to do, and this list that if I did these things more, if I spent 4 hours a day doing this instead of only having 30 minutes every once in a while because of all my other tasks. And notice I didn't say an 8-hour day instead of 4-hour day.
That's right. The 4-hour work week.
Yeah. I haven't achieved that. I do enjoy my work, but half my day is spent learning. I love learning. I love learning new programs. I love anything that has to do with marketing, and all of the things I learn directly help my clients. And so it's just, it feels so good. And it feels impossible though, when you're not there yet. It's like, how in the world could I ever get there? But the answer is, it's starting with one thing, and you hand that off and you make sure it's done really, really well. And then all of a sudden you have more time to do your other things. And then you start to see your revenue increasing because you have clarity. Like, that's another thing that having help does, is it gives you the time to have clarity, to even know, like maybe that first conversation, you're like, I don't know what my zone of genius is. I don't know what's going to move the needle forward in my business. But once you hand off tasks that you don't need to be doing, and by the way, when you have to pay someone else to do something, you really find out if that task is actually something that even should be done. Because we do a lot of things that don't get us a return, a lot.
I agree. So you guys, the reason I wanted Julie on today too is we're moving into a recessionary period. I know the government's telling us that we're not, but we are. And I've talked to many businesses lately. They're feeling it. I'm feeling it a little bit too. And Julie and I have both been through a recessionary period before. And believe it or not, when the money's not coming in as much as it used to, you have to work more and more and more. And if you're the rainmaker, you have to be working in that zone of genius and making the rain and letting those other things go. But you've got more marketing than you were doing maybe a year ago. And the big thing is, like Julie, you can tell Julie's really personable. She'll talk to anybody. You have to be on the phone building relationships.
Yes, relationships are everything. That's what I want to do. That's what I get to do. And that's where things happen, because what we're doing, so if what we're doing doesn't feel like it's working, like it feels impossible, getting on the phone with other entrepreneurs is going to, or just other people that might be in, that might be referral partners, like all of a sudden things start shifting and happening, and we start learning and we start getting clarity. And that's the thing, if we have enough time to have the clarity, we get clarity on maybe a pivot that absolutely needs to happen. So when the gyms were shut down during the pandemic, I gave a speech to all of our team members, because I have 3 gyms, and I said, guys, as long as people need us, we'll always be here. And if they don't need us, it's okay, because all of us, like, we care about people, we have skills, like might be just needed in a different way. And that's okay. And I think that's one of those surrender things that I came to. It's like, maybe I'm needed in a different way, and that's okay. It'll all be fine. But it's not fine if every day I wake up and I've been in depressive states where I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I wake up and there's so much to do that I'm like, what is the thing that I do? Like, I don't know. And I hate to say it, but meditation has helped me have so much clarity. And for about 20 years of my entrepreneur life, I was running away from things like that. I was like, I don't need that. I need to do more. I have a big to-do list. I can't just sit there and think about nothing.
Right.
But it's clarity. Like, even if you open free space just to have the time to sit and think and ponder.
Yeah, it definitely is. And COVID was such an experience for me, because my business grew then because people realized that they didn't have the tools that they needed to be an online business. But at the same time, I think I told you before the show, I took up golf. Suddenly I was making more money and spending less time. But I have to acknowledge, because I do have a really good work-life balance compared to most people. But here's the other thing, as we move into that recessionary period, you even need that more than you did before, because you could be working your rear end off and not getting anywhere. So it really is, for all those coaches out there that are saying, scale, scale, scale. That's not the time when you need to be scaling. That's the time when you need to be working in your zone of genius and putting it off if you want to grow.
Totally agreed. Yeah. I can't even tell you how much I resonate with all of that. And if you're wondering, if you're sitting there and you're like, okay, so I'm supposed to work harder, but then I'm supposed to take time for clarity. How do those two things happen? And I will be very honest with how it had to happen for me. My family's first, right? And what I found was I was pulled in so many different directions by people and things and messages, and I had to go dark. I went dark. And what I mean by that is I set up an autoresponder on my phone that when anyone texted me, it said, I'm offline for a long time. I don't know how long. I'm deep working on a project. And if it's an emergency, let me know and I'll try to check it when I can. But really, emergencies are kind of a 911 thing, right? And then I also had that be my voicemail, and it said, hey, I'm not really checking my messages right now. And if you own a business, you're like, how in the world do I do this? Well, you tell your clients, like, here's your channel, that this is where I can help you. And then I went dark on all social medias, and I went hard just serving my ass off and making the connections that I needed to make, and forming the relationships that I needed to make, and letting go of a lot of things that were just pulling at me, but were kind of bringing me down, if that makes sense. There's a lot of guilt associated with doing something like that, but I called it my season of no. Season of no.
I like that. I love that. I actually have a new book that came out yesterday, or day before yesterday, that I shared my practice with authors, because I did have much the same as you, overwhelmed, didn't know what to do. And I had a gratitude and manifestation practice. And it was interesting because the more, and I don't know if this happened for you, but the more I got into gratitude, which was really hard, I was shocked the first day I did it, that I couldn't think of a single thing I was grateful for. And I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? But then I noticed as I did the practice and got more grateful, and then I started manifesting the things in the other column, poem. And the more I was manifesting, the more creative I got. So it is all interconnected there. If you, I love that season of no, because if you can do that season of no, it's going to work miracles for you.
Yes. And I'll tell you how far I went. We didn't do Christmas presents. We didn't do birthday presents because all of that takes time. And my relationships do not depend on those things. I love my people and my people love me without those things. Just like noticing, and I'm not like, those things are fun. Okay. I understand. But I took the holidays off because I wanted to work on, and what I was working on was how do I love on my clients and how do I have a service that they really, really need and that I can deliver without dying or feeling like I'm going to die. I'm exaggerating, except I'm not. I've been in the hospital 4 times just stressing myself into the hospital. Like we can do that, right? And then if I build a community in the Philippines and I love on my people in the Philippines and I up level their skills and I give them stability and I do mental health checks and I build a team that everybody wants to be a part of. If I focus on those 2 things, no matter what my business looks like, no matter what services we end up providing, we'll always be okay. And then that became my mantra. And it's kind of like the core values, mission, purpose, all kind of combined. And
Right.
so everything, every engagement, like everything that people invited me to, everything going on in my life, is it either spending time with my family, because that's number 1, or is it doing one of those 2 things, like just making my clients happy or making my team happy? If it's not in those things, and like part of it, so it goes without saying that I take care of my health. I exercise and I eat healthy, because without that, oh my goodness.
Witnessed by the arms.
Because without that, I would be a basket case. And I have let that go many times over the years. I've gained weight back many times and I'm so freaking miserable. I can't stand it when that happens.
I do. Well, I think exercise, for me, exercise is a stress reliever. In fact, I probably overdo it. When I get injured and I have to take a week off, I'm miserable because I enjoy that time outside. I enjoy that. It's my stress reliever.
Yes. And I mean, that's why I dedicated half my life to it, to helping people with that. It's so incredibly important. So that, I mean, that's a good place to start. But, I feel like it's important, Juliet, like how far I went. I coined something that I call emotional terrorism. And it's when somebody demands something of somebody else beyond human kindness, like demanding their time, now I'm not talking about business. I'm just talking about personal, demanding like quick answers, like just, I tell all my friends, you have the benefit of the doubt forever. I love you unconditionally. If you don't talk to me in 5 years, I assume that we're the best of friends. And when we see each other, we're just going to be like, because I found myself just pulled in so many different directions. I really stressed myself into the hospital. And it's like letting go of that leaves you with just the people in your life who are awesome and love you unconditionally. Like, and it also left me with the ability, when I'm in somebody's presence, I give them all of me because I have all of me to give, because I don't have notifications on my phone.
Oh, good for you.
People could be texting or calling. I have no idea because I'm present. Like, and that feels so good. And I think it's allowed me to be a better business person too.
Yeah, I think it definitely does. And that's where I think most people that are in the service industry, that they really suffer if they don't have good boundaries.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things I learned. I always joke about new entrepreneurs, like they show up for their first day, they're at their desk, they're showered, shampooed, shined, I'm digging it, I don't have to go to the office. And by month 4, they are so stressed out. Like the dog is looking at them like, dude, shower, please. Like, because you can really get so deep into it that you're not setting good boundaries. You're not taking care of yourself too. Well, Julie, I know you have to go bake bread. Is she awesome? She bakes bread. Yeah.
I have a 200-year-old sourdough starter that I got from a dear friend.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm just trying to keep it alive, honestly.
Do you have to keep it alive? It doesn't stay alive.
You have to feed it every week.
Do you have children?
No.
So the sourdough's like your
and I have my little doggy. I always say I don't have children, but I have 600 rhinos. That's how many gym members we have.
Okay, that's good. I tell my clients that too all the time. You're like my kids, because a lot of times I'll have clients that want to stay forever. And I'm one of those, like, I'm going to teach you how to fish, and then you're going to go off on your own and you're going to come back. So I always tell them, you're like my kids. The minute you turn 18, I'm going to give you suitcases. You're either going to college or you're moving out, but either way, you're using those suitcases.
I love it. That's freedom. That's freedom.
It is. That's how
healthy.
that's how my parents raised me. We literally got suitcases for our 18th birthday.
Wow. My mom still wants me to come, move back in with her.
Oh, geez. No.
Which is actually awesome, because I'm like, oh, that would be pretty sweet. My mom and I have a good relationship, and dad, but yeah.
How long would that stay great living with them at your age?
I like to, be optimistic and just, think about things just in the best light. But, I think it would be hard just because, I think I would have a curfew, to be honest, from my dad. And I think my dresses would need to be a little longer.
Oh my gosh. And then every time a date picked you up, there'd be the shotgun and the shovel bit.
Yeah,
you live in Las Vegas, so there's plenty of desert for the
Yeah.
shovel.
Yeah, and that would just be a lot of work for him. I just don't want to put him through that.
There you go. Julie, where can we find you?
You can go to rhinojulie.com, Rhino Julie everywhere. So you can find me. Would love to chat with anybody who wants to brainstorm how to be in their zone of genius, for sure.
And you have a session that they can grab with you. Tell us about that.
Yep. So on rhinojulie.com, you can book a session with me. And it's basically, if you want to have a virtual assistant and you're just not sure how to go about it, like you want to brainstorm the task that you would offload, how do I make sure I have a return on this, financial investment? I am there. I'm not a salesperson. I'm just happy to talk to you about it and figure out the best way forward, whether that's with me, or I also recommend other agencies out too.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being on today, and go break your bread.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone. You've got this.